What's up guys, Titan Goji here. Previously, I talked about the history of the unmade live-action adaptation of Neon Genesis Evangelion that was a collaboration among Gainax, ADV Films, and Weta Workshop. If you want to check that out, link will be in the description, so yeah, feel free to watch that. Now, in this video, I would like to share my take on how I would like to see Evangelion come to life in the form of live action. Before we begin, I would like to mention some comments people made on the previous video. Several people have mentioned that the film Pacific Rim Uprising kind of seemed like a last-ditch effort slash worst-case scenario live-action Eva film, which I can definitely see. There are some blatant influences in there. I mean, they're not hard to miss if you're familiar with the series. I also want to bring up the fact that people are saying that it was all a bad idea to begin with, solely because that every live-action adaptation of any anime or manga sucks. Not true at all. Watch Oldboy, Edge of Tomorrow, Tokyo Ghoul, Parasite, Rurouni Kenshin, City Hunter, Ghost in the Shell, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamonds Unbreakable, Attack on Titan, Battle Royale, Death Note 2006, Guyver 2, King Kong Escapes, and so on. Although I do question how they would ever, adapt something like Evangelion, considering the time it was supposedly going to be made, as well as the source material itself, but I'll get into that. There has also been some discussion on the possibility that Evangelion director Hideaki Anno might be interested in directing a live-action film based on the series. Now let's begin. As of recent times, there have been a couple of films that do shed some light on the possibility that Neon Genesis Evangelion could be adapted into live action. 2013's Pacific Rim, directed by Guillermo del Toro, was a love letter to the whole genre of mecha, kaiju, and tokusatsu, and made it popular again for a new audience. In 2016, Evangelion director Hideaki Anno and writer Shinji Higuchi released Shin Godzilla, which felt a lot like an Evangelion film, and it would go on winning many awards for being Japan's best movie of 2016, as well as one of the greatest Godzilla movies of all time. Now, considering the quality and the reception of those films, as well as the fact that Hideaki Anno is working on Evangelion again, as well as the possibility that he might be interested in adapting it into live action, I would say that it's very possible that we might get it soon. And do I even need to talk about Giant God Warrior appears in Tokyo? I feel like they should plan a quadrilogy, one that sort of takes influence from the rebuild of Evangelion films, while also taking more influence from the anime itself. I know some people say that the rebuild movies have sort of bastardized the anime in a way, but the way I'm wanting to see it be executed, it's the best of both worlds. For the first movie, it should be an adaptation of Evangelion 1.0. That is all. The second movie should be based on 2.0, except have it be a lot more faithful to the anime, which includes cutting out Mari, not really a fan of her character anyway, as well as introducing Unit 2 with the... is it Gagiel? I don't know. These angels have weird names, with the fight with that angel, as well as ending the movie with the fight against Zuriel and Unit 1 going into Berserk mode. The third movie should be based on the last few or so episodes of the anime before the last two, so including elements from the encounters with Ariel, Armisael, and Tabris, aka Kaoru Nagisa. And finally, the fourth movie. End of Evangelion. That is all. Either they make a movie series or a show, maybe on Netflix or something, so that way they won't have to worry about cramming in so much source material, and maybe include some manga moments as well. After all, Netflix is usually a lot more stronger when it comes to shows. I would like for it to be a Gainax and Toho co-production, maybe a possible collaboration with Warner Brothers as well. I would like to have Hideaki Anno direct and write, as well as Shinji Higuchi write and direct the special effects. Speaking of which, I wouldn't mind if it was either done in CGI or with tokusatsu. Maybe both. However, given the content of the source material, I feel like combining CGI and tokusatsu would be good. Like, considering the series that, well, it is. Putting Shinji Higuchi's hybrid technique, as seen in the Attack on Titan duology and the Gamera trilogy, into good use. And they would also use CGI whenever it is just absolutely necessary. I should also mention that CGI is more expensive than practical effects. And before anyone mentions Shinji Higuchi's Attack on Titan films in a negative light, you've been missing out. And of course, Shiro Sagisu must compose the soundtrack. As for a cast, here are my personal choices. Shinji Ikari, played by Masataka Kubota. Because let's face it, in Tokyo Ghoul, he was more Shinji than Kaneki. Rei Ayanami, played by Sara Takatsuki. Misato Katsuragi, played by Satomi Ishihara. If you've seen Shin Godzilla, it's a no-brainer. Gendo Ikari, played by Yutaka Takanoshi. Asuka Langley Soryu, played by Sophia Lillis. And no, this isn't whitewashing, because Asuka is actually German-American. Ritsuko Akagi, played by Sigourney Weaver. I could think of anyone else, sorry. Kozo Fuyutsuki, played by Akira Moto. Maya Ibuki, played by Nanami Sakuraba. Shigeru Aoba, played by Hiroki Hasegawa. Makoto Hyuga, played by Kengo Kora. Toji Suzuhara, played by Takehiro Miura. I mean, the resemblance is there, how can you not see it? Kensuke Ida, played by Shu Watanabe. Hikari Horaki, played by Rina Takeda. Ryoji Kaji, played by Kazuki Kitamura. Yes, the Exilian from Godzilla Final Wars. Who I also think would play a great Shin in a live-action Fist of the North Star, if they ever decide to remake it. Kaoru Nagisa, played by Kento Yamazaki, and Keel Lorenz, played by Jun Kunimura. Anyway, that is my personal take on a live-action Neon Genesis Evangelion. And that's it for this video. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment, and if you do subscribe, feel free to hit that little notifications bell, and share your thoughts on a live-action Neon Genesis Evangelion. And yeah, this is Titan Goji, and I will see you guys later.